Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
This car will pull in, like, check it out for me now.
Alright, no problem. That's what we're here for.
Alright, thanks. Hey, where's this monster working on here, boy? Come and tell me about this car.
Alright.
So, Daren, welcome to Octaneaddicts channel. Nice to have you here. We have seen this car run, never actually seen it driving though, so give me a little history of this car now.
Okay, well, good morning and thank you very much. This car has been around for a long time. I have probably had it about 15 years now. It's been green, yellow, and the final color is red. We have been going through different engine setups for a period of time. We initially started with the install of a SR20 DET red top engine, and then we moved to the S14 engine, which is a little upgrade. And from there, we did a turbo upgrade to a VF37, which is a Subaru twin screw turbo, a custom built manifold that was planned to do solar next. We had a short shift because get the new power really quick, and it was very responsive.
Yeah.
And then after the close down of the Solar-X events and stuff, we decided to go into drag racing. And with the event of that, we installed a different head and a bigger turbo, and this is where we are now.
Alright, so this car actually went and performed in different arenas, the solar decks, the tracks. And guys, bear in mind, this particular Datsun 1600 back in the 70s and 80s, or is it the 60s and 70s, were actually winning rally championships. You all could check out that.
Yeah, the original trim, I think it was a L16 engine with about maybe 96 horsepower. So it's a big difference in horsepower that we had. So we had a lot of suspension work done on the car, including coilovers, and we did over the independent rear. We stayed with the independent rear, but we had a lot of custom work done to the suspension where we shortened the back differential to subframe to fit under the car, and run a decent sized tire and all of that. So the suspension is kind of close to where I want it to be. We have a little more work to do on it, and hopefully in the future it will be a lot better.
Okay, so what clutch setup you're running on this car?
The clutch setup is pretty basic. It's a single disc ACT with an extreme pressure plate ACT as well.
And that seems to be holding out pretty
Well,
well.
so far.
Alright. So in terms of the engine, you did any special modifications or anything to the engine? You know, to any aftermarket drop-ins, anything like that? Anything fancy?
Well, the block is a stock block still.
Okay.
The head is a VBL head that we did some custom look to, whereas I did a little cut and weld kind of thing. I cut a part of the DET head and then put it on the VBL head and install it back into the SR in order to continue using the factory seal and the cam angle sensor. Alright, so with the head conversion, what I did was we took a part of the DET head, which is actually just the front part here.
Yeah.
It's a part that actually not seen any pressures and that kind of thing. And we welded to the VVL head, so we could have reused the cam angle sensor. because I really didn't have any space to the back there to put it up with the VVL head. So that's why I did it, and I've never seen it done before, so I like challenges, so I attempted it and it got through.
But normally the solenoids are to the back of the engine. I've seen your solenoids set up separately.
Yeah, we did a relocation with a Mazworks adapter from the back of the head, and we ran it to the side here. So the VVL solenoids at the side. And we did custom intake, which was actually a part Pulsar and a part P11. Put it together in cheapo.
Alright. Well, it's looking like a real nice setup. You can see the engine room is very well put together. It's a nice clean engine room. In terms of management, you have any type of management in the car?
Well, as for now, we're still with the standard ECU with with a niche tune, which was done by R-Tune.
Yeah.
And so far, at the power levels we at, it has been holding out very well, and I haven't had any issues with it. So I don't have any reason to really go to any full system management at the moment.
So the big question, you mind telling us what power this car doing?
It's a reserved. Horsepower with 332 performance.
Now remember I was talking about power to weight, right? This car is probably about 2,000, a little more than 2,000 pounds, right? And that's 400 reserved horsepower, right guys? Keep that in mind.
Yeah, because the tuner actually wanted to go more with the car, and that's enough power for the super car.
Yeah, I can imagine. In terms of tires and stuff for the tracks, what you normally run when you're out there?
Well,
for traction.
For the past years, I've been using basic tires. I run the Maxxis RC1s on the back, which did well for the lower power, but now as we're up in the horsepower, I graduated to some slicks, which is some Mickey Thompson's full slicks, but I haven't got to try it yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully as soon as the track open, we'll get the opportunity to try it out and see what it could really do.
So what turbo you have running set up here?
Right, so this turbo is a 62 precision.
Okay.
And it's been doing well so far with the little bit of seat time I had with it. I enjoyed it. And the injectors, well, is 1050 cc's IDs.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I want to find out, what's your motivation behind this build? Because you know, as an older model car, you don't really see much of these around, and in such immaculate condition, I must say. So what's your motivation behind this build?
Well, the Datsun 1600 has been in my family for a long time. My uncle, a couple of them had 1600s, and my dad as well. And he actually wanted to do a project with the Datsun. And at that point in time, having 3 kids and sending us to school and all that kind of thing, it kind of got put on the back seat.
Yeah.
And then, well, I grew up in cars, so as soon as I was able to, I found myself a nice 1600 body to start with, and here we are with it right now.
Okay, well, that's really nice to see, you know, carrying on this legacy. Okay, well, I heard when he was talking about independent rear suspension, so I would really like to see this, and I'm sure some of you would like to see this too. You think we could put the car up on the ramp and have a look at that?
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Alright Daren, so we're under the car now. Tell us a little bit about what you had to do to actually get this car up and running and being able to maintain and support that horsepower?
There's a lot of work underneath here. As you can see, we have, well, to install the engine, first of all, we had to redo the cross member. We did a upgraded rack because these cars originally came with steering box and manual steering. So what I did is we put in a electric assist system with for the steering, which is no longer has any hydraulic lines and pump and that kind of thing. So
Okay.
it's maybe a little less load on the engine as well.
Yeah.
And we did custom S14 control arms to get the wheels to fit under the car, because you know the S14 and this is two huge difference in width.
Who did the fabrication work for you? You did it yourself or you had somebody do this work for you? Because I mean the work is really neatly done, it's properly well put together.
Yeah, to be honest, you might find I say this a little too often, but mostly all the work on this car was done by myself.
Okay.
And some friends had some input and in terms of discussing and talking and that kind of thing, and putting the ideas together, but the actual part of putting it together is my handiwork.
And I've seen some welding here on this gearbox. Well, what we have happening with this gearbox?
Well, this gearbox, I had broken the original S14 gearbox, and I decided to do a Wild gearbox conversion.
Okay.
So this is actually a frontier gearbox on the SR.
And how is that in terms of the gear ratios and all that as compared to the previous?
Well, in collaboration with Turbo Rav, he said the gearing and thing will be fine, but we haven't really driven the car much since the conversion.
Okay, so this is a recent conversion.
Yeah, so.
But what you had to do to actually get this gearbox to work in here?
There actually was a lot of work. I had to redo the tunnel a little bit because it was tunnel in the Datsun is really small.
Yeah.
And this Wild gearbox is actually a big box and it's really beefy in size. So we shouldn't be able to break it with this power.
Okay.
Well, the bell housing was cut and welded and all of that.
Alright, well, that was the front half. Let's check out the rear now. So this is a R200 diff that you have running here?
Correct, yeah, it's a R200 diff. It's a 3:7 ratio with a two-way LSD. There's no two-way LSD.
A clutch type LSD?
Clutch type LSD, yeah.
Okay. And exhaust, who you do your exhaust work by?
Exhaust was done right here in the shop on this lift.
The guy wasn't joking when he said he does his work himself, guys.
Two friends that assisted me, and we got it done in a day actually.
Alright, and in terms of retrofitting this independent rear suspension, what modifications or how hard was it to get it to work in here?
Well, actually, it's a lot of work. What I did was made a jig of the position I wanted it to be in, and I cut the subframe here, both places,
Yeah.
and brought in the two sides, so the geometry of the suspension remains the same.
Okay.
So the arms, nothing wasn't interfered with in terms of the cradle, the control arms, and everything. Everything is original S14 setup.
Okay, so the only thing that you had to do was cut and shorten this.
Yeah, and we had to get shorter axles.
Okay. Nice. But Daren, that's fans I seen in the back there?
Yeah, we need AC in these times. So AC condenser could not fit in the front with the intercooler and the radiator already occupying the space, so we had to move it to the back there. So we do have air conditioning in this car.
Wow.
Functional air conditioning.
Alright, well, you all know what time it is. Let's see how this car puts down the rubber.
Ah, man. That's some heavy shit, man.
Okay guys, now it's my turn. Real responsive on the steering, boy.
It's 14 instrument panels that came together with the front half when I bought the engine. So the engine mileage is true, that's on the instrument cluster, because since that everything was always working in terms of the speedometer and thing. Even with the YD box, I've gotten everything to function, the speedo, everything. And the roll cage was built right here as well. So the AC is a universal evaporator, because the Datsun 16s never really came with any AC in it. So we have AC in this car, so that's what we have there.
And let me just mention the location of his stack, where it is when you're actually driving. It makes, you don't have to be looking because it's going to just be flashing in your face. You're going to know, okay, time to shift a gear.
Yeah, you need to see it. You can't be looking around and then gauges the wires and me.
Honestly, it's like you're not looking for anything.
Yeah.
You're just, it's there. So you
Yeah,
just want to see from the
yeah,
corner of your eye, you know, alright. Time to change
eyes
a gear,
will help you with
time to
that,
gear up, time to, yeah.
So what I actually do to how this engine will rev so fast is I set it a little lower. So you get a little more reaction time.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
every time you light and you go to shift that gear, you done too late already, you done hit the limiter.
Yeah.
So I set it a little lower, so every time you react, it'll be fine.
Hey Daren, what was the experience like riding on the passenger side of your own car, boy?
Boy, that was the first time ever, and it wasn't really bad. She handled it very, very well. I must say, she actually drive the car very good.
Thanks. So Daren, give us a little info about the shop now.
Alright, well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having the car on the channel, Octaneaddicts.
No problem.
Yeah, it was very nice of you all to take the car into consideration. In the shop here, we do alignment, we do suspension work in terms of servicing suspension, changing parts, whatnot. We also do aluminum welding and little fabrication, rim repairs, and that kind of thing. Diagnostics. That's about it.
The car, I must say, the car is set up really nicely for something that had to be modified a bit to get certain parts to work. The car handles well on the road. It's very stable. It's a bit tail happy. I mean, when you put on the power, sometimes have traction, low traction, but that's what makes it so much fun. The suspension was really comfortable. The steering response, I must say, whatever you did, a little bit of feed on the steering, and the car, you could get the car to go anywhere you want. The steering control is really, really, really nice. Yeah, I mean, the car felt crazy. It felt powerful. I really love this setup. I'm being really honest, I love this setup. I would like to thank you, Daren, for giving us the opportunity of the Octaneaddicts TT for doing this video. You know, it was, again, a very nice, enjoyable video. You know, big up to the shop, D-Spec suspension tuning. If you all have any work to do, you all can check them out. Once again, thank you. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, and share Octaneaddicts TT.